Okay, Maddux. So just tell me, as you were saying earlier, how did you get started with this?
Yeah, so during COVID-19, I didn't really have a lot to do. So I'd come to this exact park and I would go diving. And I saw these turtles with these tumors that were occurring on them, and they were causing death, and the turtles looked like they were suffering. And over time, I kept noticing this more and more, and I didn't really know what it was from, and that piqued my curiosity. So I went and I Googled it one night, and I was like, why do these tumors exist on these turtles? And I couldn't find an answer. I Googled and I searched, and I couldn't find why this was happening. So after that, I emailed my research teacher at Iolani, Dr. Yvonne Chan, and I reached out to a lot of UH professors, and one responded to me, and we kind of collaborated, and that's how this project got underway.
So, in simple terms, what did your thesis or what did your project find out?
Yeah, so my project found that there was an association between high levels of wastewater from cesspools and human-derived sources and cancer in green sea turtles, specifically the cancer called fibropapillomatosis.
And so, what was the big deal about that?
Yeah, so fibropapillomatosis is currently one of the number one causes of mortality in all seven turtle species across the world, which are all either critically endangered or endangered. And this is important because if these turtles keep getting this disease, it'll cause population decline to already struggling species. And on top of that, turtles are considered a keystone species. So, like, for example, the turtles in Kaneohe Bay, they eat all the algae that smothers the corals and makes it so that the corals bleach because it can't get the sunlight. So if we don't have the turtles, then the corals will bleach at a higher rate. And so it really affects our entire ecosystem if this one species declines.
Like you said, you like to go diving a lot.
Yeah,
Did you develop kind of a affinity for sea turtles?
definitely. I mean, I ID'd every single green sea turtle I found. I made a name for them, and they really became like my friends, if you will. I would recognize a turtle at a certain reef, and I could distinguish all of the around 80 individuals that I found.
So, how much work did you have to go into this project?
Yeah, so this project was a culmination of 2.5 years of work. I first started with just testing the hypothesis of if wastewater has a positive correlation between ferropapillomatosis by going in one small little area, and I found that there was a connection between wastewater and this cancer. And then I started expanding it on larger fields and filling in the gaps, like if wastewater causes higher levels of invasive algae in certain areas, and if that affects higher rates of this cancer developing. And I eventually put everything together in this final ISEF project and found that the water that comes from the human cesspools, marked as nitrogen delta 15, gets uptaken by the algae, which stored as arginine. And arginine is the main component in the latent virus that causes these cancer to occur. So I theorized that the turtles eating the arginine from high levels of wastewater in algae causes cancer to happen.
So, are you proposing something be done about the cesspools?
Yes. So cesspools are a major issue in Oahu. We have about 89,000 cesspools across all of our islands and 11,000 here. And my research showed that they're the main cause of this wastewater in our water system, in our nearshore environments. And we need to remove these cesspools and connect them to the main sewage force lines in order to try and curb this increased levels of nitrogen in the bay.
Have you talked to any legislators?
I haven't talked to any legislators currently. I'm trying to publish my work right now. And once I get it published, I'll have more footing to stand on.
So, you won this first prize last week. Talk to me about the excitement.
Yeah, so I went to this event called ISEF, or the International Science and Engineering Fair, with my team members from Iolani and my group from Iolani. And we competed among 1,600 other top winners of each state in the United States of America and worldwide for these first place in our category, as well as top 7 overall in the world. And I ended up winning first place in my category and placed within the top 7 in the world for my project at ISEF. And it was really an unimaginable experience for me. I didn't think at all that this is where I would have gotten when I started. And I mean, I personally didn't try. This wasn't my goal. My goal was just to help the turtles. And I eventually got to this point because my research did show that the turtles are suffering and that something needs to be done about this. So I don't really like to think of it as a win for myself, but a win for the environment and a win for our beloved green sea turtles.
Now, when the lady said your name, even though she said it wrong,
Yes.
what was your reaction?
I couldn't believe it. I just I was in shock for a moment. I didn't get up right away, and I was just reeling because I didn't think that was possible. I mean, there's so many brilliant projects there, and I mean, I knew my project was okay, but I didn't know that it was up there in the top of the world.
So what's the next step for you now?
The next step for me now is to publish my research, obviously, and then go about and showcasing it to legislatures in Hawaii, and with that, try to create some change in our system, in our government, because that's really the driving cause of this green sea turtle disease.
Any plans for the 10 grand?
I'm probably gonna invest it or put it into college.
And your future educational plans?
Yeah, so I'm gonna attend the University of Oregon in the fall and major in marine biology to try to continue this environmental work and help as many species as possible.
To come back later?
Yes, I would love to get my PhD at UH Manoa eventually once I graduate from undergraduate. Yeah.
Do you find yourself, I don't know, as an inspiration for other young people to try to follow the
I mean, I
sciences?
definitely really push for that, because we're lacking in that realm today. We don't have as many scientists as we should and as we need to for all the issues from global warming and climate change to pollution. We need more people working on these issues, or else humanity is going to face a grim future. And I really encourage people to get into this world of science. I mean, not. I mean, you can compete, you can win money, a lot of money at state fairs and national fairs and so on and so forth. But I mean, it's also just a good way to go and try to help out your community a little bit and do your part.
I know you said you got started in the pandemic, but have you always had this desire to look into science? Or
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I wanted to be a marine biologist since I can remember. I always dreamed of being on Shark Week and tagging some great white sharks. And I mean, this really fulfilled that dream in a way because I never really thought that I could get to this place before even going to college or getting my PhD. And I did. I have research that I think is a big deal and that really needs to get out there. And I'm happy because this is really a win for the environment.
I mean, you're just a senior in high school,
Yes.
but you sound very mature and you're
Thank
very
you.
smart. Do people ever say, "Wow, like this is coming from a high school senior"?
Yeah, I mean, I presented at a college fair in the fall, and no one could really believe that I was at in high school. And I mean, I mean, in the end, it really just matters what the research is. Like anyone can get involved. There's so many community science programs here that people try to start, and it's really not just for the scientists and the PhDs out there. It's for everyone. Research is a universal topic, and everyone really needs to get involved for change to be made.
Let me just check to see if I left anything else I want to ask
Of
you.
course.
That was really good, though.
Thank you.
Let's see. No, I think we're all good. Let me just check to make